Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal B, and welcome to Same Cast, Different Day. I'm your co-host, Crystal B, and the main man is kind of here, I guess.
Kind of. Wait, what? I'm not kind of here. I'm here. At least I think I'm here.
Just good. No, everyone, welcome to Same Cast, Different Day. I'm your co-host, Crystal B, with the man, the legend, the Bucks fan.
Woo! Go Bucks.
Mr. Martel Rowland. There he is, everybody.
I'm here. Yay, I'm here. And I'll drink to that.
There you go. Cheers, everybody. Just kidding. We had a
Milwaukee Bucks winning. Woo!
We had such a great podcast talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. It's awesome. It's awesome. We did get in a little more details about the Bucks, their past, their future, and we do wish that moving forward they do keep moving on that same direction.
We hope a repeat happen.
That would be awesome. Or as some people like say, a three-peat. So that'd be nice. 3 in a row would be nice. So
three-peat.
A three-peat would be awesome. By all means. A 1, 2, and 3, that'd be nice. So we'll see. Remember, you always support your teams, good, bad, or otherwise. As we said before in our last podcast episode, is that you always support them, good, bad, or otherwise. Even if they're having bad days and bad weeks and this and that, you stand behind them, stand with them, and always, support them in every way possible, every which way. So, as we're starting our evening out, we are on TikTok Live. Welcome in to any of the new people that have showed up to TikTok Live. I'm actually taking over the reins tonight. Kind of crazy that it is. We're going to be talking a little bit. I'm going to get a little more in depth about myself, what it's like to date as a trans woman, things I have to go through, and and even talk a little bit about my surgery. And then, maybe we can follow up a little bit and we'll talk a little bit about my fundraiser actually for myself and my surgery coming up. So
I donated. Make sure you go donate, people.
We ask that you go to we have a GoFundMe page, and I will be working myself. I'll be working on this week into next week. I'll be working on the Same Cast Different Day website. So we will have that up and running. Hopefully.
What? You didn't tell me nothing about a website. Wait, what?
I didn't want to tell them until I actually got in to do this, but yeah, so actually working on a Same Cast Every Day website, and we will have, hopefully, I'll be able to get everything transferred, so we'll be able to have all the podcasts on there from season 1 all the way through right into season 3 here, and so I was part of season 2, like maybe two different episodes, so you'll hear me just a little bit, I believe. So now that I'm here full time. Now I have lower responsibilities, things I have to do. And so the next job is to get the website going before I have surgery this fall. So
I think you were on season 1 and I think you did 1 episode of season 1 and 1 episode of season 2.
Oh, okay. Then okay. So I did 1 of each. So, and now that I'm here full time, we're here to have some fun. By all means, this is what podcasting is. We're here to have fun. We're here to get those listeners, engaged in every which way direction. We are also still, just as a heads up, we are still going to work on, just so you guys, everyone knows, we are a little behind schedule, but all our friends from India, we will work on that Bollywood movie. We're going to work on it. We're going to get there.
Speaking of our listeners in India, I saw the stats from India. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out. Like, seriously, y'all have actually streamed this podcast more than the United States have. So thank y'all for showing up and showing out, India.
Wow. That's awesome.
Magical.
It is so awesome.
We're loved.
We and we're not here, we're not here to, not everything's going to be spot on and this and that. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to have some fun. But you know what?
I'm always drunk when we're recording these, so there's always going to be mistakes.
We're here to have fun, and we appreciate every single listener, every single one. Yes, we're eventually going to try to get out to YouTube. Yes, we're going to eventually have it, so you're going to be able to see the lives, see us actually interacting and talking, and see our faces. We'll get there. little projects I have to work on because Mr. Martel already has enough to take care of in his life. So this is why I took responsibility of doing some stuff to get us updated, up to speed. So we'll get there, everybody. Give us some time. Give us some time. We will get there. But we're going to talk about what actually is involved in being a transgender woman, and what are in this podcast, and what are all the steps that you got to take to becoming. If you decide you will go down that road.
Don't forget, we're gonna mention some, what it's like to bow chicka wow wow.
No, then we will talk about adult activities in this episode. So this episode is all about transgender and transgender care and your transgender lifestyle. This is what it is. So you could be a transgender woman or a transgender man. So depending on which direction you need to go in, and maybe you felt at a certain age you weren't sure if you were in the right body or if you're in the right state of mind. Now, I've had many men, many cisgender men. Now, these are men, okay?
Wait. Many who?
Cisgender. Okay,
what the hell does that mean?
So that's a good question, Martel, because people will ask these questions because there's a lot of big words. These are people that are fine in their own body. They're fine being their own gender, what they were born. So whichever gender they were, they're fine with that.
Okay.
That is the correct biological gender to them.
Okay.
So there have been a lot of straight people. Let's just go that route. How's that sound? There's been a lot of straight people that have come to me and asked me why. So why do you transition? Why don't you just become a gay person? Why don't you just do this? And we always have to go back to the questions are, do you really need to know about that person, their lifestyle, and if they had any dysphoria, which means you did not like who you are. You don't like your body, you don't like your genetics, you need to alter it, in a safe medical way, and including surgeries. So to be honest with you, I've had this asked so many times by a lot of straight men, mostly 40s, 50s, and 60s. By all means, that's just the age category that I've seen. What's weird is that instead of them asking me what a transgender person is and what entitles them to do what they do, just to throw something at somebody without asking questions or being educated. This is why we have so many people that want to just throw us in the back burner, or throw us in the fire and just let us, crash and burn and die. No, we're human beings, okay? You have to we actually do in the population, you'd be crazy, is over 2.5 million people in the world are transgender. In the world. That's a lot of people.
Didn't know that.
Okay. We have a world population of just, I believe now, unless my numbers are incorrect, but I believe it's just under 20 or 30 billion people on this earth. That's a lot of people. Now, 2.5 million is not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, really, if you look at numbers. But if you took that against America, that's literally 25 to around 32% of the population in America. That's a chunk. That's a chunk. That is a chunk. That's not just a little bit. Now, when you add in the rainbow mafia, or the rainbow spectrum, as you call it, that is where you have the L for lesbian, G for gay, B for bisexual, T for trans, and then they have the I for intersected. People are born both genders.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And then the Q for queer. Now there's also the 2+, which is your that means you have two spirits. That's more of a this is actually even before any of us. Two spirits is more like a so in the North American Indians, they believe in two spirits. That's something they have. Again, these are all different things. The plus also includes, the other, addition to the LGBTQIA 2+. which is there's a lot. There is way, way more than I've even touched on. So tonight we'll just talk about transgender and myself. And the future podcast, hopefully Martel can actually give us a rundown of being who he is.
I know nothing about it.
And the gay spectrum of life, what it's like to be, who you are, what, not we're asking what makes you tick, but what brought you to that, to where you are today, and something like that.
If they follow me on TikTok, they know what makes me tick. That's old people driving in the left lane. That's what makes me tick.
I mean, there is people that drive me by all means. I drive to work every day, and it just blows my mind. People either go too slow or too fast, and you just can't keep a decent speed one way or another. And you're like, come on, people. Good Lord. And we only deal with 2 lanes on interstate here, so that sucks. That's even worse. If we had 3 lanes, it would be worse because you'd have slow people in all 3 lanes probably. I've seen this already. I've seen this. It's nuts. But transgender itself. So first thing is, being transgenders, you have to, normally in America, you have to go through a therapist. You go through usually 6-8 sessions, depending on how you can afford it. And being transgender is a very expensive way, just a lifestyle. So if you're gonna be a trans feminine woman, okay, the cost of everything could be just anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000, depending on how far you want to go and where you want to go. There could be an extensive amount of, depending on what kind of surgeries you're looking for down the road and what processes you need to go by. There actually is a world group of doctors and pathologists and therapists. It's called the WPATH group that actually regulate certain things a transgender person has to go through to get paperwork through a therapist or therapists to actually get surgeries done. So you have to go through all this process, and it's amazing that I've talked to enough therapists in the last year that you would think one therapist should be able to do the job with a second one just overseeing what's going on, just like an oversee, versus 2 different therapy sessions, paying for all the stuff, this and that. I think to me, the standards need to change. We need to change the standards. We need to come up with something better. And if it means we get away from the WPATH because they're actually a doctor, gentleman, I don't remember his name, but I remember watching like a 2.5-hour YouTube video explaining everything about transgender care. This gentleman is actually out of Detroit, Michigan.
Isn't it necessary though to have like the therapist? Because what is it for? Isn't it for people who won't make the mistake of like transitioning and then regret it later on in life? So like, because I know it'd be easy for a woman to go back to a female, but for a man who transitioned into a female, I don't think that's really reversible.
So if you do, like, there's certain things that when a woman transitions to a man, you will get all the manly features. You're going to grow facial hair, your voice will drop, you're going to start creating muscle, everything else is going to start rearranging itself. Now, as for your body structure, now, do understand, if you're anywhere in the younger age, like I would say 30 and under, you will transition faster and look more either masculine or feminine, depending on which direction you're going. I do agree, though, you should go to therapy to do this. Now, to get surgeries done, I don't think you should have to go through so many hoops to get where you need to go. For me to have so I'm a male to female transgender woman. That's what I am. So for me to go through the process, I had to go to get 2 different therapists and go through 2 sessions each. So that's 4 sessions total through 2 different therapists to just get letters from both of them, then get a letter from my primary doctor to submit over to the surgeon. So just think all this, I had to do all this stuff to get where I had to go. Now, my doctor also has to be certified in strictly transgender care. You can't just, there are doctors out there that do understand some of the basics and they are learning. There actually is like a healthcare system in Wisconsin, Illinois called Aurora Healthcare. And they're actually working with doctors, surgeons around the state and actually strictly take care, and not just of transgender care, but everyone in the rainbow spectrum or the LGBTQA, which is phenomenal. So if you come in and you say, I'm gay, I might have something going on with me, I don't know, they already know how to take care of you. They know. They already have the knowledge. They've been educated. They've been schooled. They know what they need to do. Again, I'm just saying just one particular statement. So to me, yes, you should. I agree with you, Martel. When you first start out, you should take the time to make sure this is the direction you want to go. The therapist will make sure he or she or they will actually ask you the same few questions throughout your 6 to 8 sessions to make sure you are mentally on board. Because
did you just say 68?
6 to 8.
Oh, 6 to 8. Okay. Sorry, it's the wine.
Okay. Not 68. No. 6 to 8 sessions. So they will assess if you have to feel like what. Now, understand, when you get into like 2 or 3 sessions, the therapist will actually ask you to dress depending on which gender you wish to be. If you wish to be masculine, they'll ask you to dress more like a man. Or like myself, I had to do 2 therapy sessions, which were more at night, which wasn't bad. And it was a small town, so the people don't really notice it much. So I just dressed more like a woman. And I did this every session. I did something different every time. One little thing. So, and I already knew myself since 15 years old. I was in the wrong body. I just was dragging myself along and doing more destructive things to myself, my old self, which was bad for me, bad for my soul, bad for my body, bad things. Now, when a friend of mine almost 4 years ago said, that's it, Crystal, you need therapy. You're not in the right state of mind. Go get some help, because I know you're not a guy. You're not. I mean, I'm doing voice lessons right now. I'm still little. I know we're still working on it, but long story short is I am to the point where in less than 90 days, I will be having surgery where they'll be taking my beans and franks, as they would like to call them. And my beans will go away. And the frank will go from an outie to an innie. That's what it's gonna be. So.
Oh my God.
Hey, I had to have a little fun. I know we're gonna get a laugh on this one. This is all true. But these are all true facts. Okay. You're welcome. You can always look this up on YouTube or anywhere they have surgeons.
I have watched a full surgery. Okay. And all I can say is, wow.
It's an altering change. Now, every state in the United States is different. Some people, they can just go, they're on hormones for a year, and then they can go and then get a legal name change, go to Social Security and stuff like that. You can get all that stuff done. Once you get that done and you get your driver's license updated, you go to court, you have your court date, you pay for that, $300 plus, and then you go to court, dress nicely by all means. They're not going to lock you up. They just know you're here to do a legal name change. It's no different. This is a little different from when you get married.
Lock her up and throw away the keys. No. And make her serve you wine every day.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm behaving.
Oh, okay, Judge. Thanks, Judge. That's nice of you. Thank you so much. So, but that's the extent of it. Really, you have to start out with the therapist, and then you work your way, through that step in life. So, good, bad, or otherwise, I mean, it takes time. You have to work. You have to to get surgery done. You have to be on your hormone regimen. So your hormone replacement therapy. Just water. I got sidetracked on this. So your hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, and that's the initials of it. When you get your 1 year in, okay, you can actually go and do a legal name change and everything like that. Once the legal name change is done, then the next step would be, if you wanted to, say you wanted a surgery, say you want a bigger chest, or for better cleavage, if you're could be more female, or maybe you need to have bottom surgery like I'm going to be having in less than 90 days. These are all things that depend on each woman and what they want to do, or there's some guys that might want to be a trans man, they have to go through I believe 2 to 3 surgeries to produce the male beans and franks.
Wait, what?
So there is actually a way they actually have to attach. So on a trans man.
Whoa. Time out here. Time out.
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm getting too far ahead. All right, go ahead.
So you mean to tell me
yes
that they can get Mr. Willie and be able to use the bathroom out of Mr. Willie?
Yes, correct. Yes.
How is this done? So I need scientific proof of scientific proof that this is possible.
So they do it. It is normally it costs. Listen to this. It costs, and most insurance companies do not cover this. It is $10,000
to be able to have a willy to pee out of.
Yeah, to have your Frank. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Next question.
Go ahead.
Does this Frank stand up?
So it depending on what kind of testosterone that the transgender man is taking. Is there a possibility? They don't have exact science yet, but there has been some trans men in the United States that have been able to do that. Yes.
I'm mind blown right now. I feel like I need to go on YouTube and watch some videos of that surgery now.
So it's a lot more technical and there's a lot more involved. Now, most trans men will get their chest, they will get their, their chest, that removed.
I would actually date one.
And I mean, you can, if you want to, by all means, that's, but for myself, now, do I know I know a bunch of young transgender men in their 20s, okay? So they're eventually going to get deeper voices. They're going to get facial hair. They'll never get to be, they might get to be a little taller, possibly, but no guarantees. A lot of these guys I know are like 5'2", 5'3". So, short,
The height-wise, I don't think that comes for some of them. Like, some of them are just naturally that tall. It depends on their DNA, but most of the time, if they transition after turning 18, by the time they're 18, most women stop growing.
And so for those trans men, they may just be
whatever height they were when they did the transition.
So if they're 5'2", they might just be a short guy. By all means, we do have to understand that with society trying to be more open and educating themselves, we have to understand that it's going to be different because there'll be taller women and shorter guys. Now, that doesn't play on the typical male to female roles.
There are 6'10" women out there.
That's true. That's true.
Female.
So we can't be judging on someone by their height or build or whatever else. By all means, that person made their choice to transition. They know it is risky depending on where they live, because there are places, just not just in America or in a certain part of the state, there are risks of just going out grocery shopping or going out shopping or going, this is where a lot of transgender people have the hardest time. And I will tell you, Martel, this is something that, being that you're a good friend of mine, I really appreciate you. Other than you and I do when we get a chance to do podcasts together. Other than that, Martel and I actually do hang out outside the podcast life. We actually do hang out. And I'm actually privileged that he is actually going to show up and actually, when after I have my surgery, and actually take me in a wheelchair, get me in the plane, and take care of me, until we can get back and take me back to my house. So to me, I'm going to tell you right now, I know I'm kind of ahead of myself, but sir, hats off to you. I really do appreciate you in so many ways.
Yay.
This may be a little touchy, and you guys, everyone might cry a little bit, this and that. Martel is a solid man, and he's willing to be my caregiver to get me back here in Wisconsin when we're way out east. So that is awesome. I don't know how much, like I said, I told you I will be off for at least 4 weeks from the podcast, but I promise everybody by week 5, Crystal will be in a little bit of pain, but we will do podcast. We will get back on it. We'll get back on that train, and we are going to tell you all about what happened to me and how things turn out.
And consider the fact that I've never been on an aeroplane, you're lucky.
See, this is what happens sometimes, because your friends actually do respect you and actually will do things for you if you actually ask them nicely. This is true. This is true.
You're making me get on an aeroplane.
Just remember, you're going to have free TV and free Wi-Fi. So just remember, buddy.
It better come with at least 3 free glasses of wine, too. Because I'm going to need it.
We'll see what I can do, by all means. I'm the one to pay for all that stuff, by all means. I don't know what they actually have. They could have those little bottles, probably. That's all they have, really, because it's still, COVID is still in. But
something I can drink, get tipsy off of, so I want to think about being on an aeroplane.
And then he'll have to get into a taxi or Uber or Lyft or whatever it is he gets into. A limo. I don't know what he's going to.
I prefer to have a limo with my name written on, with the sign with my name written on there.
Be like, he's the podcaster. We got to give him a limo.
Exactly. I gotta go out there and be my most bougiest version of me.
Oh, so much fun. And you know what? In the process of where I went, I had to do a lot of, there's been some rough roads. I've lost some friends. I've lost some people recently. When we started, actually, a friend of mine who was actually not on our live TikTok this evening, but this is Brian. We're actually going to give him a little ping there. And actually, he started up a fundraiser for me. So I made the conclusion that I've never liked what I had between my legs. I didn't like my genetics. I've always wanted to change it. And now that I've came to the point where I can do this, insurance does pay the majority of it, and I pay some of it. There was a fundraiser started for me that we are actually trying to raise funds to cover for expenses, for the flights, for the food, for once I get back here and I'll be off of work for the 3 months, and just try to, we're not asking people to draw out of everything out of your account. But you know what? When we do talk about this towards the end of the podcast, we just ask everyone if you could donate something, even if it's $1, by all means. Every little bit counts. And you know what? I will take funds, to be, and I am going to use them towards my bills, because I have bills. There'll be bills. They are not going away, by all means. And not the person named Bill. We're talking actual bills. So, I'll have bills to pay, and I guess, I'll be paying back on the flights, that I'm paying for, myself and Martel and one of my other friends, come out and take care of me and get me, taken care of and feed me and all our fun stuff, bathe, clean, all our good fun stuff, being a caregiver for the side of it. But the nice part about it is that because this is my surgery, I'm covering my expenses with what I have. I'm just asking everyone that can help donate towards it to help me out so I can pay back that stuff. So as a reminder, they always say when you see someone that's asking for help, you can pray. I believe in God. We all, Martel, I know what your thoughts are. I do pray. I will say that too. But we just ask in a kind of a humanity favor. is that just think about this. If this was your cousin, brother, something like that, and they were going to have surgery, okay? And don't get me wrong, you can have surgery. There's a lot of countries, India's got it. You can get done in, I believe, I think the Philippines, Australia's got it. Japan, I don't know too much about Japan. North America's got it. You can go to Mexico. You can go in the States. You can go to Canada. By all means, Europe, they're all over the place. So by all means, you could be anywhere in this world and you could have a friend, a neighbor, someone you don't even know that are actually transitioned. And you're like, oh, and expenses aren't cheap. Some people, live that lifestyle of just trying to live, paycheck to paycheck. We all do that. So it's a tough thing. I'm happy to be there. I will tell you, once I'm done with my surgery and back in Wisconsin, I will tell you one thing is that I will be, after once my surgery's done, but I will just say, wait till I'm back in Wisconsin, but I will be considered a legal female in all domesticated states, which is the U.S., domesticated of the United States of America, North America, and all domesticated countries around the world. So that is awesome. That is such a great thing.
A question.
Yes.
So these countries that wouldn't recognize it, how would they know?
So
if all your documentation says, that you're a female and all these things.
Good question. So let's just, and this actually is truth. So what happens if I went to say, let's just say Egypt. Let's just take Egypt, okay? So that is a Middle Eastern country, and majority of the Middle Eastern countries do not agree with transgender people. Now, I will say though, there has been, now I'm in parts of different Facebook groups, there has been 2 transgender women from Iraq that have not been bullied or nothing like that. Like they just leave them alone and this and that. Now, is the Middle East coming around? Maybe, possibly. I mean, I'm glad people are actually starting to come out of their shells. Not just say people are coming out of the closet. It's kind of something else, but people are actually coming out and actually expressing who they really are. Now, once I am legal, to answer your question, they're not going to know. I may have, my voice will change a little bit, but they won't have any idea. They wouldn't know if I'm wearing a baseball cap or if, I'm not. Granted, my hair is still growing out, and as it actually is growing, by all means. It's getting there. So they won't know. And as long as the people that are around me, passport, driver's license says female. Okay, she's a female. People won't really know. They won't know unless you actually throw those red flags up. If you don't say nothing, you don't know. They have no idea.
They can't see you.
That's right. I'm invisible. I mean, I talked with a woman today at my work, and I said, yeah, I've been a mom for a while now. I said, I just, finally last 3 years get to be me. And she said, I remember my kid this and that, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? I'm a mom too. I said, I heard that same, I remember that same story about my kid. And, I washed the floors and the kid would like to go slide around like he's on ice skates. Mm-hmm. Yeah, typical. I mean, by all means, if you ever clean your floors and you watch your animals slide around on them, by all means, it's about the same thing. It is kind of funny in a way, you watch your cats or dogs or whatever, because their paws aren't really made for slippery conditions. They're not made for that. They're not made for that kind of slipperiness. So it is funny in a way, but
that's because some animals are not the brightest cookies.
Well, that's true. I mean, by all means, we're not going to pick on them, but this is true. This is very true.
Naomi is one of them.
Well, that's cats, we will have to maybe eventually talk about our favorite animals and why we like them. So maybe a podcast we can do about that as we talk about different things on our podcast and throw in different ideas. So for me I went from 3 years ago in 2018, I went to therapy for the 6 sessions. Then I got my letter, got to get on hormones. I've been on hormones ever since. And I went from just doing the basic kind of hormone pill to now I do, in the last year, I do like a injectable shot, which I do once a week. So there's different other medication out there. It's always prescribed, always get your, always go with the proper chain of command. Always, make sure you use a doctor, a regular doctor that is a licensed doctor. Now, I don't understand in other countries what they have doctor wise, what their legal stuff is and that, but always try to use your legal doctor. I never want to see anyone do any kind of overabundance of medications and then something were to happen where they actually were to not be around anymore. So I would never want to see that at all, by all means. But I'm happy I'm going to come to the point where I'm at that point of I'm in that 90-day stretch of getting to where I'm going to be. And once I get through my surgery, I'll be in a little bit of pain for at least the first few weeks to a month. Once I get past that time, life to me. I believe that, that I've finally come to the point of where I can be me. I'm a legal female. People have to respect me for it. People have to know that, yes, my expectation is the same thing. I'm a human being just like you're a human being. We're all human beings, okay? One way or another. We should have respect. We should know that everybody's out there. There are a lot of caring and understanding people, by all means. So,
no, you couldn't hear me.
So as Martel was off dancing around over there or whatever he was doing, getting his food.
Oh yeah, my HelloFresh meal that I made.
There you go.
What are you doing over here?
So as we were talking about it, as we get to the swing of things here, as Martel's eating, I'll talk a little bit about transgender care and stuff like that, and then Martel has the adult rated questions for me that we will be going to actually into detail and talk about them shortly. So as myself is, so I actually have hair extensions through my stylist. My hair is still growing out. When you actually see the live video, you'll be able to see my hair. And actually, I will take my hat off for once and show you everyone. So my hair is actually, it's growing. It's getting there. It'll take some time, and it's still in the back, but my hair is actually growing. The nice part about the extensions is they last for 3 months. They're a little bit pricey, depending on where you live and this and that. Some people have friends that are hairstylists, and they can just do it on the side or whatever else, which is always a nice thing. If you're like Martel, he likes to get his hair braided, but that's his style, and that's awesome that he can do that. And maybe someday I'll be able to rock braids. I don't know. I'm not sure. Ponytails, kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna go with maybe.
Ponytails is my thing.
I'm thinking ponytails. Really, kind of like, Oh, now who was that? I was just thinking about here now. The TV show back in the day with the little ponies. My Little Pony. Oh. My Little Pony. That's it. Yep. Yep. We had the Care Bears, and we had My Little Pony, and we had, don't forget, the Powder Puff Girls. Can't forget about them though. They were good. The Powder Puff Girls.
Iconic TV show.
There you go. See, now these are all good TV shows by all means. So being myself, these are little things that I've noticed when I was younger and to where I am now. Did I love them back then? I did. Was I told by I was told by my sibling, so I have a sibling that's 2 years younger than me, that told me, you will never be that person that you really want to be. Never be that person. I won't accept you for it. And that's okay.
What an asshole.
And that's okay. So sometimes people in life, when they have this high standard of life, sometimes don't realize that they used to be way down on the main floor or the basement at one time in life. And now all of a sudden they are up in the rich and fancy lifestyle where they can just throw money at the table and they don't give a shit because they have money to throw. And you know what? I'm so proud of my sister that she got where she went, by all means. But to treat someone disrespectfully and to complain for the last 20 plus years, my parents would buy me stuff because I would take care of them, and I still do to this day, as long as they're still alive. My sister would complain every single time. So, as a transgender person, yes, do I have family members in my family that actually disrespect me? Yes, I do. That is at least 10% on my mom's side. Now, on my father's side, I got a full 100%. Everyone's like, you know what? You do you, boo. You do you. That's what they said. We got you all the way. We stand with you. We believe you're a great person. And whichever direction you want to go, Crystal, we love you. We support you. And don't hesitate. If there's something going wrong, reach out to us. It's good.
Awesome.
It's good to, what's that?
That's awesome.
And it's in being, and it doesn't matter. It's just not to be just transgender, but to be anywhere in that rainbow spectrum. It's always good to have those people, because you're going to have bad days. Martel, last Thursday was a really rough day. Normally I'm texting him, usually saying, hey buddy, you know, it's going to be podcast night. Or he would text me and be like, and something was off with me. And I was having a rough day. Because someone pushed me in a corner, and I wasn't good. This today was a great day. I was so excited. We're going to do podcasting tonight. We're doing a double feature tonight because we had to play catch up, but that's okay, by all means. But as for me, I am very proud and very happy that there's people like Martel out there. I have family members. I may have lost two best friends that just decided they wanted to do their own thing.
They just proved that they wasn't the root on your tree. They proved that they were a branch or a leaf.
That's true.
And they will fall off.
Amen. That's it. You got it right there. That's exactly said. And the people that stay with you are on that tree, and they'll be with you for life. You made a friend, and you made someone that you can trust. And you know what? To me, I've had friends, and to me, I went from just some friends to actually having good, solid friends I can trust. Martel I've known him for, I believe, almost 2 years now? Year and a half? 2 years?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
I didn't know a lot about him. All of a sudden we were in this thing and he said he was doing some podcasting, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun, be a guest, this and that. Did I ever think I was going to step into this role? I mean, I always loved to be a radio DJ. When I found out what podcasting was and I started listening to his, listen every week, I was listening to it, listening to when on the ride home, I'd listen to when I would go do errands. And I was like, you got to do this, Crystal, get on board. And when I volunteered and he said, let's go, let's do this, by all means. I didn't think the relationship would get, to me, I think the relationship's gotten stronger. Now, we've all had differences. We've all had to deal with old Yeller and other people in our lives that have driven us nuts.
Yeah. Oh, Yeller.
By all means. But you know what? I'm happy to say that regardless of who you are, okay, as a transgender woman, I'm glad that my friends respect me because I fully respect them. I don't care where they're from. I don't care what, if you came from a bad, this and that, and you've been a good person your whole life, and this, whatever it is, you know what? Last I checked, we're all human beings, okay? So it doesn't matter it's what color, race, religion, or anything else you are. You're a human being. And you know what? I love my friends. I could say this. I could say it every day. I can brag about them. I can talk about them. I could do that. The nice part about it is I have this nice circle, this small circle. There's a gentleman I used to work with, which actually taught me a little bit about basketball. So before Martel, taught me about college basketball, which I didn't understand anything about basketball by all means.
I know nothing about college basketball.
So I used to watch with my old coworker, and he explained everything, and he was a super awesome guy. He got a disease, and this is the sad part, now this is all part of my life, is that he got a disease and he actually took his life, and he was only 50 years old.
Wait, what?
Yes. So I believe he got like Lyme disease and something else. He had like two different diseases going on. It was one, and then something multiplied into something else. And and his name was Jeff. And I will tell you hands down, this is what he told me. He said, I'll tell you right now, keep your circle small because big circles don't support you.
Mm-mm.
Keep your circle small all the time. So
Makes a lot
even
of
just
sense.
before I start transitioning, oh, I'm sorry, Martel, go ahead.
I was just saying that makes a lot of sense.
You know what? Just have a few friends. And you know what? I have lost people, like, Martel said, and what have I gained? I have a girlfriend that she's also transgender. She's just a few years younger than me. I have the best host here. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be his co-host for Same Cast Different Day. And Mr. Martel Rowland is, he's a blessing by all means.
Oh,
He's a blessing. He's a great friend to me. Really. Really. To be honest with you.
making
And
me
you know
feel
what?
all warm and fuzzy on the inside.
I do. You know what? I don't mean to say this, but when I brag about Martel sometimes and I tell my parents, I'm like, you know what? This guy's awesome. Because you know what? We decided just to randomly go out to eat one night because we're like, let's do this, let's go out to eat. And I got to meet him in person. And don't get me wrong, I look so little and short. And Martel's like, oh my God, like he's really that tall. Like you don't see people because they sit down. And I'm like, hey, dude, I love your car, but I'm like, holy shit, you're tall. Like, wow, I'm little. That's okay. But you know what, though? I was always taught, my grandparents always taught me that you love everybody. Just, respect everyone and love them, for who they are. There's people out there look at me angry, mean, so, you know what, whatever. That's fine. No big deal. You know what? When I'm rolling out with which I see, this is funny. This is just a little kind of a comedy thing. Martel will get a bang out of this one. So let me eat his food first so he don't choke on it. But so it's funny because when Martel and Old Yeller and myself went to the Pride picnic, which was a few podcasts ago, it was funny because Lily, my friend, was like, or one of the hairstylists, she's like, Crystal, so were those your bodyguards? I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of that famous that I need bodyguards that are over 6 foot tall, like defensive back players. She's like, I was wondering. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of that kind of, I'm like TikTok famous kind of, Just have a little fun. Just a little fun. Nothing bad, just a little fun as we did. So, all right. So now, I don't know how far you are into your food. And
I'm
if
a
you
little
actually,
tipsy, so I just dropped some. So.
oh geez, so that's not good. Oh, so the cat's gonna get some free food now. Okay. So now,
It's just rice.
oh, okay. So as we're getting towards almost to the end of our podcast, because it almost is time to wrap, almost, not yet, but in a few minutes. So now Martel wants to ask the big questions, the adult questions.
I just want to know if you was gonna buy a chicken wow wow with the new dude.
So, because in dating, what is life like in dating? We didn't talk much about this, but dating. What is dating like? And dating and then actually having adults bow chicka wow wow. Because I don't think we could say that I don't know if we could say that S word on the podcast. Probably could.
I mean, we can say it on a podcast, but for the sake of that, we're on TikTok live right now.
We probably don't want to do that. That's because we're on TikTok live, so it's probably not the best idea. So, I would say hands down is dating. It's a little different. It depends who you're interested in as you move along in your life. I was interested in women in the beginning, and then I became bisexual, and I'm more interested in guys. So will I actually go on a date with a guy? Yes. Am I still waiting on I'm still waiting for half of these males I talk to are just boys because they just are all talk and no action, which is very true.
Because you're not putting out. You got to put out. Sometimes you got to fan it and put the air out there so that way it can attract them.
Oh my gosh, good Lord. So, because I am considered a pre-op trans woman, I have not had a surgery yet. So I have to talk and do everything else. So as for the adult activities, okay, I actually date
You better lay it
date
on them,
someone,
baby. Lay it on them. Oh, lay it on them.
unless the date decides to take me out to eat and get me, have a few beverages involved, then maybe as possibilities, but we don't know. Okay, again, everybody's different. Everyone can handle their beverages differently. That's what we say. So I would say no, I need to go to me. I would need to go on a few dates with them. I'm kind of more old school where I go on a few dates with that person and get to know them and actually have my friends meet this person. So I'm going on a date with a guy. By all means, I will dress nicely and professionally. But
Yeller put out on the first.
But there's a downfall though. This person and I can go on a date, but the second date might be a surprise where all of a sudden Martel and Old Yeller show up and just randomly be like, "Hey, Crystal, how's your date going?" And just randomly just show up and just sit down by us and be like, we can have like a double date type thing. This what no what.
As soon as I mentioned Old Yeller putting out on the first date,
is he on your TikTok?
He just called my phone.
Oh my!
It was like,
we didn't want to go there.
As soon as I mentioned that he called, I'm like, oh crap!
Oh no! I don't feel bad. My phone's blowing up by about 2 guys right now. So and my mom. So that's about it. Fine. That's okay. So what I actually like, give that person, a little fun action. Maybe, but I'd rather have a judgment from myself and my good friends, okay, stating that, or my circle stating that, you know what, yeah, we like them, or no, we don't. So as for me and putting that direction out, maybe, but I'd rather have my friends be content and happy with this person, because then this is the person that is going to show up with me to certain events or certain things we're going to do. I'm not going to say I'm going to be with him or her all the time. There'll be sometimes we're going to be like, guess what? I need to do a podcast supper, podcast dinner. So it's just Martel and I going out. So there will be times where I'll have to tell him or her that they're going to have to do their own thing sometimes. And that will happen once in a while, by all means. A good relationship is sometimes, if you're living together all the time, sometimes you can drive each other crazy. Very true. Or some people just don't like to, give effort.
Which is why me and Old Yeller don't live together.
So, by all means. But it's their choice. So, will I have adult activities? Maybe. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'd rather date the person, actually be dating them, to know them, and maybe after a few months, really. That would be my thought. I'm not a 21-year-old that wants to go to the bars, get drunk, and
I'll drink to that.
Go home with somebody. By all means. I mean, if you want to do that, by all means, you're welcome to do that. But none of us are 21 anymore. And wait.
Speaking of,
yes.
How long after the surgery can't you bow chicka wow wow? Oh no, you're frozen for me on Zoom. Oh no, everybody.
Here.
Oh, there we go. Yay.
There we go. Okay, we're having technical difficulties. Sorry about that, everybody. So after surgery, so I can go back to work after 3 months after surgery to do the bow chicka wow wow. I have to wait 6 months. So for myself, that'll be not until April. Till about
6 months?
6 months.
You can't whore for 6 months.
No. No.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how you're gonna do it.
There is other ways to do stuff. Just remember. There are other ways. So
wait. Okay. So even after you transgender, how do you, what's the proper term? Climax.
Okay, so I will have to have, these are the solid questions. I'll actually, after I have surgery, there'll be a set of dilators, okay, that I'll have to use different sizes until I get from smallest to largest. There's just 4 of them. So in time, so once my surgery is done, and depending on time and place and beverages all come into factor, this and that too. I would be able to climax like a genetic female within a matter of 3 to 6 months after surgery. So the only thing which a lot of people say it's funny is that I will not be able to get pregnant. Now, is there a way to transplant uteruses into trans women? Yes, there's been 2 women in England, and it's been done already in the last 2 years. That's been done. So I don't know, because I'm a little past that age. I'd rather just go for adoption. But as for the climaxing, yes, I will be able to do that. I will be able to do that after that 3 to 6 month period. Yes.
Oh, so when you find somebody, they're gonna love you then, because they don't even have to worry about their pullout game.
No. But the funny part about it is, is that the people that don't listen to this podcast and don't know nothing about trans women do understand we are females. We can make up oh crap, I missed my period. Oh yeah, you can pull that statement on them. Oh God, you watch them run. They'll run.
Yeah,
they'll run.
But he don't have to work on his pullout game though.
True, this is true. So for the first, once I get 6 months, usually the surgeon recommends normally to do all contraceptives, for that. Once you get to that year 1, to make sure everything's all properly placed, and everything's good, and this and that, before you do any kind of wild charades, I guess you want to call it, crazy stuff.
That's too long ago. Oh my God.
So as for that, yes, there are other adult activities I can do as a person.
I'm feeling sad thinking about it for you.
Don't worry. Once I get to that point, at least it'll go, listen to this. It'll be wintertime and spring. And by the time I'm good to go, it'll be spring season, and we'll be ready to rock and roll and have a good time. Plus,
I'm going to have people lined up for you.
Oh my gosh. Plus, Martel and I will be taking a road trip next fall. We're going to have a little fun.
I'm going to be telling people it's fresh. Get it tight, get it fresh.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like the orange juice commercial for one of the orange juice companies out of Florida.
I'm just saying, get it tight, get it fresh.
I'm thinking like there's a rap song I was getting. So
actually, I did get that from a rap song.
So fresh, or something like that. I don't know.
It's like, get it right, get it tight, get it right. Oh yeah, get it right, or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, good Lord. Well, that's really there you go. We actually did some lyrics to a song. We can't tell you the song name, nor we. I
would have no idea what the name of the song is. We don't know what it is. But,
so that is the adult version of what will go down with me. Yes. So I will be in some pain for a while. It's okay. Good news is, long story short is, once I get past that point, and we get back into being myself.
So we can't just put like vodka on it, and then they can just go bow chicka wow wow, like bang 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 bang.
No, hitting it hard right away.
But vodka solves everything.
No, I can't do that stuff. No, I actually have to use proper lubrication for the first 6 months and up to a year. So I will do it. Yes. So.
Oh, well, yes. Just to let you know, I don't know how to do bandaging. Actually, I don't know how to do anything.
So don't worry about that time.
I can tell you if you're having a stroke. I can tell you
that. So for myself, I'll have to wear like women's like pads, and then also to wear like adult diapers for a while too, just because
you're not wearing a diaper.
Well, I'm just telling you, I might have to at nighttime. Probably I might have to wear them for a while. Who knows? I don't know, but it's possible.
No, you're not gonna need no Depends.
I mean, whatever.
It depends. It's just their call.
Whatever. Then I'll wear a pad then, okay, just to make you happy. That's something to tell. All I know is so as we wind this up, I promise Martel that we will watch a Christmas movie on the flight back to Wisconsin.
Yay, Christmas.
So we will watch a 2-hour Christmas movie.
Speaking of, I'm going to a garage sale this weekend, and this lady is like saving the Christmas stuff for me. She says, I have so much Christmas stuff. She said, I will love for it to go to a house or a family who really loves Christmas and would treat it well. I said, that's me. I'm going to go rack up all so much Christmas stuff.
It's going to have so much. And plus, my parents actually have some Christmas stuff for him. So I actually have to get that in my vehicle safely and get that transported down to him so he can get it set up. Probably like just around, just maybe before he takes off on this flight out east. Maybe, I don't know if they'll do it afterwards. I don't know.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I start putting on my Christmas stuff before Halloween because I'm not. Have you been out? These people don't know about Wisconsin winter? I refuse to be outside in that winter putting up Christmas decorations.
It's cold.
I'm doing it while it's warm.
They're nuts.
Yeah, I'm doing it while it's still warm. I'm not going to turn them on till November. I'm turning them on November 1st.
Yeah.
And I probably won't turn them on again until like mid-November or after Thanksgiving. It's just the fact that I put mine up early because I'm not afraid to be out there in the cold.
It goes all the way through, right to the first of the year. That stays right up all the way through for them.
Yeah, after about January 2nd or 3rd is when I start taking stuff down.
And so hopefully, once I get back in action, hopefully maybe we'll actually get to do a out and about maybe podcast. We'll see if we can get one done before I have surgery. I
have to probably get a laptop.
And we're working on this stuff. We are. So we'll see what happens. We will try to do it. If not, we're going to try to shoot for 2022, and we will do that. So we will get there. A little time.
Ooh.
So that has been the podcast for today, talking about transgender masculine and feminine, where they need to go, things they need to look for. And don't forget, I will make sure that as myself, if there's anyone out there that actually is in the process of or would like to comment or something like that, by all means, you can hit me up on Facebook at Crystal B. You can send me a snap at DJ Farm Kid 131, or check me out on TikTok, which we're doing live right now at Miss Care Bear WI. By all means, send me a message. By all means, if you need resources, I would be more than happy to guide you in the direction. If you are in America or Canada, I don't know a lot past other countries, but maybe we can get something together for you on this and that. But I would love to help out in any way I can. Don't forget about I'm just the co-host, so the main host here. He's letting me run the show tonight, which is fun. Get to run it once in a while. So don't forget, let's check out his social media pages at.
You can find me on the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the TikTok at Martel Rowland. And you can find a podcast at SCDD Podcast or Samecast DFNT Podcast on Instagram. And you can also find a podcast on Facebook, Same Cast Different Day Podcast.
You can also check us out on Reacher.fm, our new way to actually find us on podcasts. What's that?
What's the new one?
Is it called Reach?
Oh,
Reach.fm or Reacher.fm?
Shit. Reason. Reason.fm.
Oh, Reason. I'm sorry. I said it wrong.
I forgot about them. My bad. I forgot.
So Reason.fm is our new one. We also have an Apple, Pandora, Spotify, some of that, all your normal ones that you can find us on our podcast. By all means, you're always welcome to reach out to us. Crystal B is working on a website for Same Cast Every Day, so then you can go and check out different podcasts you want to see from season 1 to 3. We're going to be here. We're going to keep moving forward every day, and hopefully someday this will be our career. I hope someday this will be our full-time job. We can leave our jobs and actually do podcasts.
I will quit my job so fast.
And we will have so much fun doing this. This would be a blast. Just think. Now, we will have to get on public. We will be famous, and it's going to be a different story and everything. But long story short is, we're going to enjoy the fame and fun. We will have a good time.
I don't want to be famous. I just want to have fun.
My name is Crystal B. This has been Same Cast Different Day. Thank you for joining in again. We love our fans. Thank you so much for listening. It is such an honor to have you guys listening. Guys, gals, everyone, have us listen every time. And please share this podcast with everyone you know. If you have friends, people that just want to hear, they're bored with hearing about one thing or another, because we like to talk about everything. By all means, share this out. Get it out there, by all means. This is Crystal B. Everyone, have a great evening. Martel, anything you want to say before we go?
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been an official Bucksong production.